Hi and welcome to Stamp with Angela. I'm Angela Palmer and today I'm going to share with you how I made this note card using a spritzing technique. So I'm going to use some markers and a clear block. I'm using quite a big one. This is an E size. To cut the pattern here I've used the window box thinlits dies. So that are these ones here on page 216. And for my sentiment I have used the thank you from the Rose Wonder set. So what else you need is you need a note card with an envelope and you need 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock. So these are cut slightly smaller than the card, so about 8.2 centimeters by 12.2, depending on how much space you like around them. Okay, so of the 2 pieces, one I'm going to use the die to cut this out on the top, so placing it that way, leaving a space at the bottom for the thank you. So I'll put that aside for a bit later. And what I'm going to do is create the background. So what you're trying to create is something like this. So on your other piece of Whisper White, we're going to create that background. So what we need is our markers, our block, and a spritzer. So using my markers, I'm not sure if you know, but there's a thicker tip and a thinner tip. So using the thicker tip, I'm using the lighter colour first, just colouring it on the block, just in a sort of random pattern. I'll use pink next, sort of now filling in some of those spaces, but leaving some room for some blue somewhere. So colouring it like that. Lots of colours and things. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a scrap piece of paper to put underneath it as well. So I'm going to use my spritzer, just move other things out the way and spray it a couple of times with some water. Enough but not too much. Alright, then put this down and put that over the top like this. Now hold it down for a few seconds. Can you see those sort of colours moving around? Like that. That looks quite nice. Now that is quite wet, very colourful. Okay, it is a bit wet, so you're going to need to put it aside and let it dry, or you can dry it with a heat tool. Now you'll notice there is a slight patch there that I've missed. So what I do, like on this one I've done before, you could get your marker and a sponge and just sort of fill in the gap. So I'll dry my block. I'm going to put a little bit of ink on it, a bit of yellow. And you can always sort of, if there's any patches that you don't like, just go over it like that. So what you will end up doing is putting it through like that. So that's a lighter colour. If I show you this one here, it's not dry, but you'll see the colours are a bit brighter. Okay? So everyone is going to be different. So you may like to make a lot of cards, do a whole lot of these, and then put them together later. Alright, so the next part of the card is the thank you. So you may have noticed that this is a mixture of colours as well. So how did I do that? I also used the markers. So let's get it up the right way. So I'm going to start with the lighter colour first and just sort of randomly, kind of trying to remember where I've put it, colour it. So I've used the T in the middle, maybe the top's a bit of pink. So look where I haven't put some. And a little bit of blue somewhere, wrong end. Hopefully I have covered the whole word. Huff over it to get a bit of moisture, and then lining it up, stamp. How's that? Thank you. If there was a little bit I missed, like in the thank you, I can use my thin tip and just kind of connect it up a little bit like that. Alright, so isn't that nice and colourful? Alright, so now how to put the card together. So this is my one that has dried, so I'm going to adhere those. So I'm just going to put some glue around here like this. So just using my liquid multi-purpose glue. Take the little seal off. Around I go. And these need to be the same size, or the bottom one's slightly smaller. You can't see it. There we go. How's that? And then I don't know if you can tell, but I've used dimensionals to adhere that. So now we have some mini dimensionals, and this is what they are here. I've highlighted them so that I can see if I've taken off the seal or not. So they're nice and small, a little bit, take a little bit of getting used to pulling them off. So I'll put 6 on, so 1 on the 4 corners, 2 in the middle, but definitely economical. And then take, that one's already off because the yellow's gone, take the top layer off. Quite sure what they are, that was from my glue. Oops, not the whole thing. Yeah, this is still a little bit wet, that's why it's not sticking so well. This was the one I did earlier. Alright, and so then arrange it on my card front so hopefully it has a even space around it. So this one here is quite pale in comparison to this one, but the new one we did has some brighter colours, and once it's dried a bit more, again we could sponge in the middle there to get rid of that whiteness and things, and then when it's completely dry you can adhere it. But it's quite a nice, simple but very effective note card that you can make. So I hope you had fun learning this new technique. So remember, I used markers, a block, and spritz it with some water and held it down, let the colours soak in, and then lift it up and let it dry. So thank you for watching today. Have fun with this new technique, and remember to check out my blog at stampwithangela.co.nz and also my Facebook page. And if you're not on my mailing list, you may like to join, sign up for that too, because I send out regular emails and newsletters and free tutorials. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.